Today on Investigate TV Plus, families plead for answers when their loved ones are murdered and there's no arrest. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. We have an in-depth look at homicides in America and why some believe unsolved cases lead to more crime.
Just want to be a mama. Just want to be.
And a mother uses her pain to fuel her fight to help others.
It traumatized me, yes, but it also helps me to live.
How her effort supports families and has helped police solve murders.
She's got the skill and the experience to really do better than us a lot of times and connect with people.
Plus, mapping unique markings on bullet shells and casings to bring criminals to justice. We get rare access inside a state government lab to see how investigators link guns to crimes across the country.
My two great passions in life are the Carolina Panthers and martial arts.
A superfan is living out her team's motto. Meet the black belt who encourages others to keep pounding, no matter what life throws your way.
Karate is the thing that keeps me alive. So it basically saved my life.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus. Murder in America is a problem.
FBI data finds in 2021, nearly 23,000 people were killed. And according to criminology experts, almost half of those cases won't be solved, leaving the killers free and families without justice. Some experts also say the clearance rate in the U.S. is the worst rate in the Western world.
Reporter Kristen Crowley digs into the issue and finds out what can be done to reverse the trend.
They are men and women, teens and young children. Hundreds of people, all with a common thread. They were killed. But what ties them together isn't just how they died, it's that their killers got away with murder.
10 years I've been going to homicides, and 10 years I've been an advocate.
Rosalind Temple sees the impact of that loss of life more often than most.
How many murder scenes have you been called to?
Oh, shoot. Over hundreds.
She has no police background. She's not an investigator, but she is crucial to Kansas City homicide scenes. She's the founder of Kansas City's chapter, Mothers in Charge, a group dedicated to ending violence. Rosalind goes to murder scenes to comfort grieving families, knowing odds are the perpetrators behind their loved one's murder may never see justice.
What is it like talking with these families, especially ones that have been waiting for years for answers in their loved one's death?
It's really tough. And we have those conversations on a daily, weekly basis. Some families call us every day.
Every year, Kansas City police investigate more than 100 homicides. The department has seen its murder clearance rate drop from a peak of 95% in 1965 to 36% just last year. But this issue is far from unique to Kansas City.
The failure to solve homicide is absolutely a nationwide problem. In a growing number of cities, most murders go unsolved.
Thomas Hargrove is the founder of the Murder Accountability Project, which tracks murder data across the country. That data includes calculating clearance rates. A case is cleared when a person is arrested or the case is solved, but no arrest can be made. That data, pulled from the FBI and police, shows what was once a national clearance rate of more than 80% in 1965 has plummeted to 54%. And major cities like Seattle, Chicago, Philadelphia, and more are below that.
Having a 54% clearance rate is devastating. First of all, it leads to more murder.
That's because Hargrove says it gives the appearance to criminals that they have a good chance of getting away with the crime. And while he says dwindling funding, resources, and staffing contribute to the declining clearance rate, his research points to one factor most responsible.
The problem is that there's a growing mistrust of police, especially after incidents like the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis.
The murder of Floyd sparked nationwide protests and calls from some activists to defund the police. Following that tumultuous summer, murder clearance rates, which were already on the decline, continued to drop. Experts we spoke with say mistrust for police means less cooperation from the public, who are key in helping investigators solve these crimes.
It's definitely something that we see in most cases that we work, at least in Kansas City, is that there's somebody involved in this that's not providing the information that we really need.
Even witnesses who may see the crime right before their eyes sometimes fail to come forward, an issue Mothers in Charge member Cynthia Tucker knows all too well.
There was a fight, and then my son and his friend were shot.
There were people around.
Tons.
But your son's killer has never been caught.
No.
Cynthia's son, Jacob Payne, was 19.
Just feels like someone reached in my chest and grabbed my heart and is squeezing it. Sometimes it feels like I can't catch my breath. I got kicked in the gut. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. Anyone.
But Hargrove says there is hope in preventing more people from feeling Cynthia's pain.
Try to change the narrative in the relationship between police and their community, and you'll never imagine what happens. The clearance rate goes up, and when that happens, the murder rate starts to decline.
Kansas City Police Department's partnership with Rosalind is one way it's trying to gain trust with its community.
We call her out every time, whether it's the middle of the night or the middle of the day. She's got the skill and the experience to really do better than us a lot of times and connect with people.
Would there be some murders in Kansas City that would remain unsolved without Rosalind's help?
100%.
It's a job Rosalind feels called to do, but it's a job she never wanted.
I'm a mom, just a mama. Just want to be a mama. Just want to be.
Rosalind's son, 26-year-old Antonio Thompson, whom she called Pee-wee, was shot and killed inside his apartment in 2011, the day before Thanksgiving. His murder still unsolved.
It's not right. And all you ask somebody to do is speak up. Speak up for him. He deserves that.
How hard is it to live this over and over again through other parents?
It's very hard. You know, every time I help someone, I'm called out to a homicide scene, support a mother, family, father, or somebody. It traumatized me, yes, but it also helps me to live.
Live for her son, whose life was cut short, live for the thousands of others like him, and live to hopefully one day, finally, see justice.
Reporter Kristen Crowley joins us to talk more about her findings. Kristen, you mentioned 80% of homicide cases were being cleared in the 1960s. Is that even a rate departments can expect to get back to?
Yeah, I think it's a rate they would like to see. I mean, they'd like to see 100%. But the reality is law enforcement has changed so much over the years. Detective Cobalt with the Kansas City Police Department, whom you just heard from, says Miranda warning, which is your right to remain silent, that wasn't even introduced until the late 60s. So it was a lot easier to clear cases before then. On top of that, the use of firearms has increased, which is increasing murder rates and decreasing clearance rates.
So what can states do to achieve a higher clearance rate?
Well, the Murder Accountability Project says that state and local police really should collaborate more. It may sound simple, but it's actually very rare in the United States. Wyoming is one state that does do that, and they just so happen to have one of the highest clearance rates in the country at nearly 65%.
Solving murders isn't the only place state and local police can work together.
So what I'll do here is I'll closely bring these together.
Next, an in-depth look at how detectives are tying crimes together in different cities.
And later, an alarming amount of bacteria growing on reusable water bottles.
That was mine? Mm-hmm. Oh, ew. Ew.
What scientists found that might make you think twice before your next sip. Our in-depth coverage continues. You can get connected to Investigate TV Plus on all social media platforms.
When When bullets or casings are recovered from a crime scene, high-definition images can be entered into a database that's used to track guns across the country.
The National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, also known as NIBIN, houses nearly 6 million pieces of ballistic evidence. And through a partnership with local and state police, the technology helps connect crimes in different areas.
Reporter Sarah Goldenberg takes us inside an Ohio lab for a rare look at how NIBIN works.
A cartridge case found at a crime scene is like a fingerprint being left behind. And that evidence can wind up here in this machine, scanned into 3D images, which are then compared to millions of other images.
Can really provide leads and linkages to crimes that otherwise could be left unlinked and unresolved because of it.
It's a database operated by the ATF called NIBIN, the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network. In just hours, cartridge cases from crime scenes can be sent through NIBIN and analyzed by forensic laboratory technicians like Rick Cummins.
So, of course, these are both same firing pin impression, both the same breech face marks, but now we're looking at if they're actually coming together. So what I'll do here is I'll closely bring these together to make sure that they are lining up correctly.
Those results can help detectives identify criminals more quickly.
It's exciting just to help contribute to the investigative process. Obviously, we're not investigators, we're not agents, we're not out in the field, but to be able to add a different part of the process, add a different tool to law enforcement is definitely exciting and definitely something to be excited about. Yeah.
Attorney General Dave Yost says it's a game changer, already helping solve cases right here in Northeast Ohio.
It's not a magic wand. It's not going to immediately point to the perpetrators, the trigger people, but it is the kind of clue that can help local law enforcement do the kind of police work we've been doing for hundreds of years to connect the dots, put the pieces together.
NIBIN also works to track down a criminal before another shooting happens. We're told the network typically has a 5-day turnaround, but even if a match is not made right away, it could happen later as more and more information is added to the database. In Cleveland, Ohio, I'm Sarah Goldenberg.
The ATF says there are more than 250 active NIBIN sites strategically placed around the U.S.
Yeah, there's nearly one in every state, as well as D.C. and Puerto Rico. That means a hit in the network from across the country could help solve a crime in your state.
Still to come, a superfan hopes to inspire others to never give up.
Physical therapy, you keep pounding. Broke this elbow in October, had 4 surgeries. Keep pounding.
But first, your refillable water bottle might be so dirty it could make you sick.
They all grew bacteria, they all grew quite a bit.
We talked to scientists about how often you should clean your bottle to keep the contaminants at bay.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime online. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Investigate TV. You can catch stories and full episodes.
There are plenty of perks to a reusable water bottle.
It's a convenient way to stay hydrated while also being eco-friendly. According to a report from the United Nations University, about 85% of plastic water bottles sold end up as waste, and plastic materials can take up to 1,000 years to degrade.
Plus, Boston University says the average American can save over $1,300 a year using a refillable water bottle instead of constantly buying disposables. But be honest, when is the last time you washed your reusable water bottle or the straw inside? Ugh.
It's something you might not think about as often as scientists say you should.
Reporter Cassidy Williams went to Quinnipiac University in Connecticut to see what was growing on students' water bottles.
We went on a hunt at Quinnipiac Student Center.
You look nervous.
Honestly, I am.
We were looking for students with reusable water bottles.
It's like my emotional support water bottle.
We wanted to test to see what's inside.
All right, take off the whole thing for me.
We swabbed both the inside,
and then we have to do the straw part too.
And wherever you put your mouth.
Well, I know it's gross because I don't really wash it, but I only put water in it.
Oh, you might find some stuff in there. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty gross because like when you're living on a college campus, you don't get to wash things that often.
We collected samples from 30 different water bottles. Then the swabs went over to the lab at Quinnipiac's Buckman Center. The microbiology laboratory manager, Donna Sue Gresser, led her students through the testing process. Each swab was tested 2 different ways. A recent study from waterfilterguru.com found on average a reusable water bottle had 40,000 times the bacteria of a toilet seat. We wanted to know what our test would find. We came back 6 days later to see what was growing.
They all grew bacteria. They all grew quite a bit.
Medical microbiology major Matthew Pinsley analyzed the results. He says all the swabs grew bacteria, which isn't surprising considering how much bacteria is in your mouth. But it wasn't just mouth bacteria that they found.
This one usually inhabits soil, so that could mean that soil's, dirt is getting on our bottles.
Pinsley created this graph to show the types of bacteria found on the bottles. There was bacteria from the throat, soil, water, and other places that could not be categorized. And notice that big yellow slice? That's fecal matter.
This is E. coli.
Around 30% of the swabs had fecal matter.
I think it is indicative of how sanitary we are, that we are finding bacteria that is in our stool on our water bottles.
So can any of the bacteria found make you sick? Well, it depends.
To immunocompetent people, not necessarily, although it is indicative that norovirus is present.
Pinsley says they didn't find any significant difference between plastic versus stainless steel bottles. Straw or no straw also didn't seem to impact results. We caught back up with Devondra to show her what her plates grew.
That was mine?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ew, ew.
Her bottle did not have fecal matter on it, but the 30% number still concerns her.
That's shocking. That's a lot. How does that even get there?
A report from Michigan State University suggests washing your bottle at the end of every day and taking the extra step to sanitize once a week. That means sticking your bottle in the dishwasher, or if that's not an option, using a weak bleach to sanitize. Devondra's favorite bottle is about to get a little TLC.
Ooh, that makes me want to wash it right now.
Look at this, my work water bottle.
Keep it away.
Keep it away. She asked me off camera, would you ask me?
Any fecal matter?
Yes, this thing's gone. I'm done with it, okay?
Clean your water bottle.
Yes, please. I'm getting a new one. All right, the study also suggests you should not let your water bottle sit with water in it for long periods. Part of being a fan is showing your love for the team, but some take it to a whole new level.
We all have our reasons why we do it.
Up next, meet Dojo Cat, who's using her unusual costume to motivate others.
My whole mission with this superfan thing is to inspire other people, because I used to be the person sitting on the couch that didn't think I could do it.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime streaming online. Get the app for Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. They're free to download. From basketball and baseball,
used merchandise or game used paraphernalia, caps, and different players. That's the other thing. I've got a whole area for Luis Gonzalez. I've got an area over here for Randy Johnson.
To football.
Because if I wake up tomorrow with no voice, then I did the right thing.
Whether college,
I made this. This is, of course, Rammer Jammer, Yellow Hammer.
Or professional,
here we go, Brownies, here we go.
Teams have their superfans showing their love and support.
Welcome to my doghouse.
When the going gets tough, their loyalty is unlikely to falter, oftentimes encouraging other fans to keep hope alive.
One dedicated fan shares how her love for the Carolina Panthers helped her persevere. Reporter Cam Gaskins introduces us to Dojo Cat.
My 2 great passions in life are the Carolina Panthers and martial arts.
Barb Leonard has been a die-hard Panthers fan ever since the team was created. And after hanging out with some dedicated superfans in recent years, she decided last season to get in on the fun.
We all have our reasons why we do it. We're all very unique.
But instead of a Thanos or some generic cat costume, Leonard decided to add her own spin to her alter ego.
Hey everybody, my name's Barb Leonard, aka Dojo Cat.
Meet the Dojo Cat, one of the newest Panthers superfans, bringing her 2 passions together.
Hey!
For Leonard, this get-up isn't just to show her support for the team, it's also a way to share with others what karate has done in her life.
Karate is the thing that keeps me alive. So it basically saved my life. I got up to 401 pounds. I had gotten to the point where I couldn't do basic household things.
After struggling with her weight her entire life, she turned to weight loss surgery over a decade ago. But her doctor said even that wouldn't be enough when some of the weight came back on years later.
Karate was the instrument to help me get down to a decent weight.
It was also the instrument that gave Leonard a new sense of purpose later in life. After years of training and dedication, she earned her black belt in January 2021. And all the while through this journey, a familiar phrase has kept pushing her forward.
But that's not a reason to quit. It's a reason to keep pounding. Physical therapy, you keep pounding. Broke this elbow in October, had 4 surgeries. Keep pounding.
Now she hopes that her story serves as encouragement for others to do the same.
Like my whole mission with this superfan thing is to inspire other people, because I used to be the person sitting on the couch that didn't think I could do it.
And she also wants Dojo Cat to inspire anyone out there to be themselves, even if it looks a little unusual.
Be the best you can be. It doesn't matter if it's different. We don't need everybody to be the same.
What an inspiring story, and I love the cat mask.
The cat mask was
That's
great.
my favorite part.
She said, be who you are, be yourself, basically,
Yeah.
and she is with that cat mask
She
on. Very
is.
nice. All right, that's it for us here on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching.
Next time on Investigate TV Plus, doctors acting as their own middlemen, selling equipment they use in surgery. We hear from a man whose mother died following one of those procedures.
I've cried many cries, many tears.
We investigate the questionable practice